And hey, everyone, it is Thursday, October 19th. What a gorgeous day outside. And we are here with another Calgary real estate show. And yeah, some interesting stuff going on this week in the market, which we'll get to. Jaden Bax is here again to give us an update.
Yeah, not a ton of things to
Okay.
update, but we'll talk about interest rates and what's going on. Not a lot of stuff to talk about. Next week we'll have a bigger update.
Next week is a bigger update. Natalie, what do you have going on today?
Not a lot.
No, but I mean, in this show, what can people?
Oh, in the show, yes, I'm doing. I was like, what? No, I'm talking about hood fans and sort of the trends that are coming in from a traditional hood fan. Very
Nice.
exciting.
Called in the business, we call it a tease.
A tease, yes.
Yes. Everyone's like, what is he talking about?
What is going on?
That, what's that? All right. Well, with that
Go
in
ahead.
mind, let's go back a slide.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why it was forward. Sorry.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So a bit of a comeback this week if you are a seller. As we had 252 new detached listings, 252 sales. So even for a math wizard like me, I can tell you that's 100% sale to new listing ratio. Pendings were up, actually the highest they've been in 5 weeks. But here's an interesting stat, 185 price reductions. That's the highest it's been in a long, long time. So, we've been having these anecdotal conversations on our Calgary Realtor Facebook page, what is actually happening in the market. And I think this is indicative, right? Like there's maybe a bit of a shift happening. There was a shift that happened last fall. And although fall can be a very busy time, for whatever reason, we're just seeing a bit of a shift right now. So it'll be interesting. We're 3 weeks into August, I wish. October,
Yeah.
It's going to snow next week. 3 weeks into October. So we'll see. We'll see if the shift actually happened. I think we're still going to see very strong sales. But, there could be a little shift happening here in terms of pricing. And when I say shift, I don't mean 5 and 10% down. I mean that maybe things are just going for 98 or 99% of list price as opposed to 100 and 105. All right, so we see the price reductions there. Back on market 39, days on market 28, which Natalie will detail in our next slide. So our active detached went up slightly, as did our total active with apartment condos, row townhouses, semi-detached and detached. And so, Natalie, tell us what happened last year at this time, please.
Well, let's go in the time machine and see what's going on. Last year, we had 454 sales. This year, 537, so up 18%. New listings last year were 583. This year, 695, so up 19%. Active listings last year, 4276 compared to 3420 this year, so down 20%. That number is creeping up, though. We're noticing.
Oh, yeah. It is definitely creeping up.
Yeah. And days on market last year was 42 compared to 28 this year. So down 33%.
Yeah. So maybe less of a shift than we had last fall if these numbers, because, those days on market numbers have been way lower this year than they were last year. Right. So maybe not as big of a shift, but just a little tiny like, hey, I'm still here. I'm the real estate market. I determine what's going on. All right. Jaden?
Yeah, not a lot to report this week. Like I said, next week, October 25th, we're going to be presenting on October 26th, so it'll be a good time to do it. The Bank of Canada is going to be meeting to decide on rates. And we've had a couple of big swings in the last couple of weeks. So 2 weeks ago, jobs numbers came in strong. The economy is hot. We got to slow it down. It was 3 times as many jobs as they expected there to be created in September. Yada, yada, yada. And so definitely we were going to have a rate increase. Then last week we got our CPI, which is our inflation numbers in, widely expected to stay at 4%, which was kind of due to the base effects of 2022, very, very low, came in at 3.88%, which is great for economists who wanted to push it back down to 2. So really the two kinds of things cancel each other out. I think there's enough stuff going on behind the scenes. If you are a variable client or an adjustable mortgage, You don't need to worry about a rate hike next week. Most of the market is pricing in that there will absolutely not be a rate hike. And that's for a couple of reasons. It's for the data that I talked about in the what's going on with inflation, but also the Bank of Canada knows now that a lot of the inflation is coming from increased mortgage rates and things like that. And that's not just on the side that they control, which is the directly control with the variable rates, but also on the fixed side of things. Like we talked about last week, that spread between the two is really shrinking quite a bit. So my big expectation, you can hold me to it next week when we see you next Thursday. I think next Wednesday when you wake up, you're not going to see any rate hikes.
All right.
Yep.
And what are you putting on the line if you're wrong?
My pride, my capability as a mortgage broker. I don't know.
I don't know. How about lunch at Main Street Barbecue in Airdrie?
Yeah, you know what? I probably owe you a lunch anyway, so I'll put that on the line for sure.
All right, sounds good. Well, either way, let's do lunch next week. Anyway, we can take that one offline.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, there's a range hood that I want in my house, Natalie.
I know, isn't that beautiful? It's crazy.
I think for 1973, it's lovely.
It is, and it would have been hot back then. I mean, compare that with the flooring, it's all good. Okay, so today we're talking range hood trends, going away from sort of the traditional, what everybody thinks of. Number one is wood. We love wood. We know, the one on the left looks like your house, Jaden. I was like, that would totally
be right at home here.
Yeah, exactly. Very rustic. Yeah. The one on the right is just covering it with like a herringbone pattern, which is quite lovely. So next one is matching your cabinets. And this is a big one that we're seeing in a lot of like new homes and stuff like that. And it just sort of makes it more cohesive. So it doesn't stand out. Some people don't like to see this big metal thing just hanging from the roof. So next, this one is tiling it. Now I've never seen one of these in person. I love the idea of it. It's just a very clean line look. The one on the left is quite a shiny tile, but the one on the right is so interesting because they sort of incorporated it, like it blends in, and they incorporated it in the underside into this wood mantle. So it really gives it a lift. This one is talking about clean lines. Like this is very much, the one on the left is, it's actually hidden up in the cabinets above. So you don't even see it there, but obviously it is. The one on the right just sort of, again, blends into the wall. It's quite beautiful. Last one is mantle treatment. And this one is interesting because it makes it look like a fireplace hearth, right? Like it looks like a fireplace. They've got that head on there. I'm not really crazy about that myself, but you know, it's like a dead horse there, and it's going to be covered in crap. You know that at the end of a year, you're going to be trying to clean that thing. But yeah, just some interesting ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. All right, so for events, we still have Pumpkins After Dark going on up at Winsport Olympic Park, Winsport Canada, whatever. If you haven't been, really go check it out. It's a great event for the whole family. And there's different themes that you walk through, and they've done an amazing job of creating these, these themes. Anyway, it's really fun. Lots of different music. Calgary Hitmen. So yeah, hockey is back, people. They're playing Lethbridge tomorrow night at the Saddle Dome. So just go to hitmanhockey.com to get tickets. And we've got ghost tours, Natalie. If you are... You go to calgaryghostwalks.com. They have a few different tours that they do. And so if you're into that kind of thing, go check out calgaryghostwalks.com. Tickets for kids are $15. I'm not sure if I'd take a kid to that, but
I don't think I would.
Yeah. Give them nightmares for the rest of their life. $20 for adults. And then this is another one, Field of Screams at our good buddy Mike Shepard's Cobb's Adventure Park. So tomorrow night is adults only. So I would assume the screams will be turned up a little bit for the adults only one. And then kids are welcome on the 20th, 21st, 27th, and 28th. And tickets are starting at $26 for that one. So obviously with it being Halloween coming up, kind of next weekend, realistically, for those that are celebrating like us, we go to a pretty epic party every year. So
this year is medical themed.
It's medical themed, and you have to dress up. You don't get let in unless you dress up. So
No.
This sounds like a lawyer. This sounds like a lawyer party for sure.
It is not. It's another one of our lawyers, though.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, and they the people that you walk by their house and it's like, okay, these people love Halloween. That's those people. These people.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
I think
And then
they
this weekend,
for like a month beforehand.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then this weekend, a whole bunch of us are going to the Hush Gala, and that is in support of CP Alberta. And I'm wearing lederhosen, Jaden. So just
yes, he
make
is.
sure there's going to be lots of pictures of us men in lederhosen.
That's great. I'm sorry I'm missing that one. I would have loved to see the live action version of that part.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure you would have. You would have. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks, Jaden. Thanks, Natalie. And we'll talk to everyone in 7 days.
Bye.
Bye, guys.